And we have Michael.
No.
And Michael is also playing the chemist. And we have Amy. And Amy is also playing World War II girl. We have Grace, who is also playing the dreaded Thatcher, as in Margaret Thatcher. And we have Alistair, who is also playing Alfred Nobel. Great. And then we have our 4 girls from Cartridge Hut number 7. We have Maggie, who's played by Ailey.
I'm Annie. Oh, there's Ailey.
there's 2 Aileys. There's 2 Aileys, yeah.
I'm confused. Sorry.
So we have Ailey Thompson playing Maggie. Thank you. We have Ailey Zarebic playing Annie, who is Maggie's big sister. We have Holly. Where are you, Holly? I see you now. Playing Rachel. And we have Fiona in the middle there playing Mary. We also have Alan playing H.J.W. who's an American journalist. And I think that's everybody. And I'll be reading the stage directions. Another thing that you should know is that there are 6 or 7 songs in this piece. Because we've only rehearsed for 2 hours and we haven't heard all the music, we will not be singing them. We will be speaking them. But they'll be performed anyway. Great. Well, there's Lucy. Hello, Lucy. Lucy, can you put yourself on mute and turn your video off? Thank you very much. Great. And so welcome. And here we go with the girls of Cartridge Hut number 7. Darkness. Maggie's in the auditorium looking for rabbits. Everyone else is on stage in the dark. A clock ticks.
1884. The 9th of May.
A Thursday.
20 to 9 in the morning.
The ticking stops. A very loud boom from the darkness.
Oops.
Oops. Oops.
The hut just blew up. What do you want me to say?
Are we all ready?
Annie Brannan, put that phone off.
Oh, who died and made you the boss?
Put it off and put it away.
Come on, it's starting.
Lights up on the chorus and the girls. Mary counts everyone in turn, then looks around. Where's Maggie?
This
is a story about what happens when you mix stuff together and come up with something new.
Something special.
Something unique.
Something powerful.
We work in the factory. Nobel's
factory.
The debts.
The dynamite.
Down at Ardea.
And Stevenson.
We work in the danger
area.
The Cartridge Huts.
Cartridge Hut number 7.
Hold on.
Our cartridge huts are about 10 feet square.
4 of us to each hut.
Against each wall are 4 spring pump-like handles, pump handles, about the weight of my head.
Hold on. Maggie Brannan. Coming, Mary.
Maggie makes her way on stage.
When pulled down,
Each pump handle forces a rod through a small conical hopper of dynamite fixed to the wall.
this pushes a portion of the dynamite into a brass tube.
We wrap a small square of branded parchment paper around the bottom of the tube, folding it at the lower end.
You'll be late for your own funeral, lassie.
Sorry, Mary. I was watching the rabbits. There's a whole wee family.
Is that right, Pet?
No one cares about the rabbits.
Don't you talk to your Maggie like that?
Sorry, Mary.
Quick, this is your line.
Then, holding the paper with one hand and jumping up and down as we work the pump handle with the other hand, we shove dynamite down the tube till the paper cylinder is filled to a depth of 3 inches.
3 inches, mind. Not 2, not 4, 3.
We remove the paper cylinder, now filled with the dynamite.
Fold down the top and drop it through a slide in the wall.
from where it rolls into our own special box as a finished cartridge.
Impressive or what?
Well, the girls work with the greatest rapidity. To see the rods flying up and down, the dynamite forcibly jammed down a brass tube is incredible, reports Mr. Henry J.W. Dam in an article for McClure's magazine, an American publication, after he visits the factory in 1897.
I love your accent.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
It's good work.
Skilled work.
We're using our brains, not just our brawn.
Annie rolls up a sleeve and shows off her muscle. Mary notices the audience stares.
Will you look at that upper arm tone?
We're paid £6 for every £50, 22.68 kilos of dynamite we pack into cartridges. That's 2.5p in your money.
Hold on.
What is it now?
Who are you?
That's the audience, Mary.
Mary inspects the audience warily.
Oh, I didn't think we'd get so many.
We're all about the bums and seats, us.
They'll never all fit in a cartridge hut.
We're not in a cartridge hut.
Well, where are we then?
We're in the Harbour Arts Theatre in Irvine.
Oh, so we are.
And we're
here to tell
you.
You about
Mr. Nobel.
Mr. Alfred Nobel.
Alfie.
Show some respect, lassie.
we've a tale to tell.
About Alfie Nobel.
We'll tell it now.
And we'll tell it well.
Peace Prize Nobel.
This is well before any peace prizes. This is back when Alfie is a young chemist.
A young chemist who invents dynamite.
Boom.
Boom.
Mr. Nobel wasn't the first to be interested in explosives, however.
Boom.
Boom.
No.
Boom.
Boom.
No.
Boom.
Oh, going to stop doing that?
It's what dynamite does, but isn't it? Dynamite goes.
As she prepares to say boom again, Annie puts a hand over her mouth.
Let's go back.
Way back.
It's 808.
The 9th century.
China. It's the beginning of gunpowder.
The black powder.
Used for sending signals and fireworks.
Light the touch paper, cover your ears and run.
Boom.
Boom. Look at the pretty lights in the sky.
It's 1288.
We now have cannons.
And cannonballs.
Light the fuse, cover your ears and run.
Boom.
Look at the big hole in your castle wall.
It's 1846. Switzerland.
Christian Schonbein accidentally invents nitrocellulose when mopping up a mixture of nitric and sulfuric acids from the kitchen table with an apron.
He hangs his apron over the oven door to dry.
As you do.
Boom.
Look at the state of yon penny.
It's 1847.
Italy. Ascanio Sobrero invents nitroglycerin.
An oily liquid so unstable that the slightest jolt can cause spontaneous detonation.
Boom.
Look at the mess of your laboratory. It's 1867 in Sweden.
Alfred Nobel mixes nitroglycerin with kieselguhr, a type of clay found on the Isle of Skye, and invents dynamite.
From the Greek word dynamis,
It means power.
game changer.
Big boom.
Boom.
The dynamite song.
Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Perfectly safe when you mix it right. Don't drop it. Don't strike it. Don't let it get wet. A high explosive. Sorry, because if you do, its power will be felt.
Dynamite.
Perfectly safe when you treat it right. It smells of burnt sugar. A joy for the nose. A high explosive keeps you on your toes.
Dynamite.
Carefully safe if you pack it right. Be careful, be cautious, be tender, honey, because this will make someone a load of money.
Dynamite has all the power of nitroglycerin.
It's more stable,
Safer.
a bit.
And useful. So useful.
For quarrying.
For mining.
For mining gold, platinum, diamonds.
Slate. Ironstone. Potash.
Marble, granite, coal.
My dad's a coal miner. He works down at one of Lord Eglinton's pits. Or he did. See, there was an accident and my dad got hurt.
We're not talking about your dad.
20 years my dad worked for Eglinton. It's dirty work. Dangerous. What with the bad air and the coal dust and the floods and the roof collapsing.
We're talking about someone much more important.
14,000 men and boys work the North Ayrshire pits, producing 4 million tonnes of coal every year.
Aye, and the coal miners get richer every year. Have you seen Lord Eglinton's house?
Have you seen Lord Eglinton's big lad?
That chinless wonder.
Oh, he's got a chin and an eye for a pretty face.
He's way out of your league, lassie.
We met last year at the Mary Mass. Archibald William Cunningham.
Annie and Archie are Patry, Kissing.
We did more than kissing, and we didn't need a tree to do it in.
He wouldn't give you the time of day.
But he gave me a love bite.
I don't believe you.
Tell her, Maggie.
He did. Well, someone did.
And what do you want with the likes of him? More money than sense, that one.
I'm not working in the cartridge circus forever. Anna, I've got a plan.
She's got a plan.
Get real. He's the heir to the Eglinton fortune, and you're Annie Brennan from Ardeer Square.
Lady Anne Cunningham, you may kiss my hand, dear Maggie.
Maggie giggles and does so.
You're getting ideas above your station, so you are.
What am I, a train?
Song, Know Your Place, Mary and Rachel.
In this world all of us live in, there is an order, right or wrong. The rich, they have the power. The poor, we have a song.
It's been this way since time began. It's called the status quo. The wealthy swan around on top, while we work down below. So, lassie.
Know your place. Know your place. Know your place in the human race. There's a system. There's a code. Respect your betters. Doff your cap. Hug your forelock. Keep your head down. Don't be aiming for the rich man's lap.
Know your place.
Know
Know
your
your place. Know your place in the human race. It's 1884, my friends. The winds of change are blowing through. Says who? Says me. Says Karl Marx. Not for the likes of us, my friends. Not for the likes of you.
Know your
place. Know your place. Know your place in the human race.
In this world all of us live in. My world. Our world. Your world too. One day soon it could be different. For us, for them, for me and you.
Know our place. We're on a journey, off to where we want to be. So stuff your system and your code. One day soon, you wait and see. Up the revolution!
Up yours.
Everyone is scandalised. Mary immediately covers her uncharacteristic remark.
Where were we?
We've a tale to tell about Alfie Nobel. We'll tell
it now.
We'll tell it well.
Boom! Nobel opens factories all over the world to manufacture his dynamite.
Factories in Sweden,
Norway,
Germany,
Austria,
Finland.
Portugal,
Switzerland,
Hungary,
South Africa.
Canada,
the USA,
France,
Japan.
Belgium,
Stevenston. Stevenston.
Alfie wants to open a factory here.
Here. Yes, here. Here in Ardeer.
While considering several sites in the UK, Nobel visits the Ardeer Peninsula in Stevenson, which, in the late 1860s, is known for its mines, quarries, ironworks, enviable transport links in the form of 2 railways and a canal.
And it's sand dunes. Very handy for deadening any unintended explosions.
Song, Build Beside the Seaside. Nobel.
Oh, I do want to build beside the seaside. Oh, I do want to build beside the sea. Oh, I do want to build beside the sand, where the marron grass grows, and it will be grand, grand, grand. Yes, I'll make my explosions by the seaside, 'cause those dunes are a friend to you and me. And the wages I will pay, they'll really make your day by the seaside, beside the sea.
He sounds quite a guy. Wish I'd met him.
Alfred Nobel forms a partnership with several Glasgow businessmen to purchase a section of the Ardeer Peninsula from the Lord Eglinton.
The British Dynamite Company is established to manufacture explosive and the constituent parts.
What does constituent parts mean?
It means he's going to make the stuff the explosives are made out of.
Sulfuric acid, nitric acid, nitrocellulose, nitroglycerin.
The nitroglycerin rap. Audience joining in. Simple.
Nitroglycerin, nitroglycerin, C, carbon atoms, 3, H, hydrogen, 5 of the, N, nitrogen, 2 is fine, O, oxygen, let's have 9, C, 3, H, 5, N, 2, O, 9. Sing it loud, sing it rhyme.
Jobs for everyone!
Good jobs. Well-paid jobs.
Dangerous jobs, jobs for the boys.
Jobs for the girls.
Right from the start, 1/3 of Alfie Ardeer's workers are female.
You're only 14. Why aren't you at school?
I've been.
We've all been to school.
You can all read.
And right.
And do our sums.
I wanted to stay on, learn more, maybe take exams, go to university.
Lasses from Kilwinning don't go to university.
My dad wanted me to go, then he got hurt and there was no money coming in, so I work here now. But I still read. I read everything I can get my hands on.
Waste of time, all that learning.
You think Lord Eglinton's big lad wants an ignorant wife?
What I'll be teaching him, you'll no find in any books.
Can we please get back to Nobel?
You're not the boss of me.
My school had windows. Lovely windows.
Well, as the oldest among us,
I, an old maid. I'm Mary McAdam, plain as can be. No chest to speak of. Who'll marry me?
Mary flinches but doesn't respond to the taunt.
as the most experienced among us, it is my job to ensure we all tell our tale in a good and timely fashion. So wished, Annie Brannan.
Make me.
You think I won't?
Come on then, square go.
Fight.
Annie circles Mary, ready to fight. Mary's up for it. Rachel plays peacemaker.
Quit it, the pair of you. I said quit it. We need to be battling the injustices of our class system, not scrapping amongst ourselves.
My desk was by a window. I could sit there for hours, just staring out.
As Maggie talks, her tone draws everyone's attention.
Staring far, far into the distance.
Maggie's song.
Once upon a time, there was a girl, just an ordinary girl. Just an ordinary girl who dreamed a dream of an extraordinary world out there, beyond the sea, beyond the dunes, beyond the pages of a book, beyond her window. All she has to do is look, really look with her mind's eye. Imagination lets her fly to the extraordinary world that's out there, just beyond the sea, beyond the dunes, beyond the pages of a book. Just beyond her window, just beyond her grasp. He can hear her gasp when she sees it, because she believes it's out there, waiting patiently to be discovered, uncovered, by a girl, a most extraordinary girl, through a window.
The windows in a cartridge hut are awful wee.
Have you seen the size of the windows at Eglinton House?
Dream on.
1871.
The British Dynamite Company breaks ground at Ardea.
For the next century and a half.
The fortunes of Alfie Nobel and
Stevenson will be inextricably linked.
Yeah, that is a big word for such a wee lassie.
The chorus draw H.J. Dam looks. H.J. Dam cringes and backtracks.
Transport and distribution are problematic initially. Railway companies will not accept dynamite as freight, so carriage by sea is soon established. Keeping their dangerous cargo secret, horse-drawn vans carry smaller loads over shorter distances on land.
Alfie is a chemist, an inventor, and a businessman. Tell them about the patents, Rachel.
Well, see, it's not just about inventing the stuff that goes boom, or making and selling it at a profit, a big profit, by the way, because those little constituent parts involved in the manufacture of explosives are very cheap.
The real money's in the patents.
When you mix the stuff together
and come up with something new.
Something special.
Something unique.
Something invented by you.
The first thing any inventor does,
after he or she has reattached their eyebrows,
is get it registered with the patent office.
Because that means other folk can manufacture your unique invention too.
And each time they do,
they gotta pay you.
Alfie's song.
Alfie Nobel is my name. Making money is the game. My inventions change the world. Make it safer, cause folk will pay for better, cheaper, bigger booms. The past is past. The future looms.
Out there, waiting to be discovered.
By 1873, there are 40 buildings and 100 employees making nitroglycerin and dynamite at Ardea.
This is only the beginning.
In 1875, Nobel invents gelignite.
Blasting gelatine.
Jelly is even more powerful than dynamite.
And it's waterproof.
The biggest boom
yet.
The factory grows.
And grows.
And grows.
1897. The workforce stands at 1,300. One third are women and girls.
Mainly employed for their nimble fingers and attention to detail.
Tramways and lines of pipes and trestles cross each other diversely, all connected to the railway tracks which join the Glasgow line and carry the finished product to Irvine Harbour, from where ships transport the dynamite and gelignite to customers all over the world.
What about us?
Aye, what about the workers? What about the cartridge girls? Did you write about us, Mr. Henry J.W. Dam?
The young ladies employed in this dangerous work are all strictly beautiful. Everyone who visits the factory admits this. No one, in fact, seems inclined to invidious comparisons among the strong and courageous girls, not when each of them has enough dynamite in her possession to blow a hole in Scotland. Moreover, there is some reason for the statement. The breathing of nitroglycerin by the workers gives a universal clearness of skin, and among the fairer girls, the contrast of scarlet and white in their faces is most unusual. You learn, perhaps in consequence of their complexions, the girls marry quickly after entering the factory.
Oh, there's hope for you yet, Mary.
Mary smarts but ignores Annie. Annie shamelessly eyes up H.J.W. Dam.
The factory expands.
And expands.
The bigger it gets, the more employees it needs.
From Stevenston,
Saltcoats.
Ardrossan,
Kilwinning,
Irvine,
West Kilbride.
The revolution continues.
Up the workers!
Not that kind of revolution. The Industrial Revolution. All over the UK, people flock from the countryside to work in the factories, to work the great machines, to put the great into Great Britain.
And the money into the pockets of the factory owners. The rich just keep getting richer.
by the end of the 19th century,
we are making cordite.
the new smokeless propellant.
The signature sound of a shell firing. It passes overhead. Everyone follows the sound with their eyes, then lands with a boom.
Propellants don't go boom. Propellants are detonators and provide the smaller, more controlled explosion needed to produce the gradual release of gas required to push a shell or a bullet along the length of a gun barrel.
Everyone's impressed. Annie's proud of her wee sister.
Therefore, propellants go bang.
A wind blows.
What's that?
A wind's
A
blowing.
wind's blowing.
The wind of
The wind of
change.
Throughout what follows, Mary becomes increasingly disorientated.
Happy
Happy New Year!
Yeah.
Happy New Century.
What about a near-day kiss for a hard-working cartridge girl?
What about Lord Eglinton's big lad?
There's room in my arms for y'all.
HJW obliges in extravagant fashion. Everyone hoots and whistles.
By 1903,
The population of Stevenston has increased to 6.5 thousand.
Oh, hold on.
Lord, give me strength.
It's 1903 already.
Time flies when you're having fun. Meet me outside the gates when I finish my shift.
HJW signals his agreement and merges back into the chorus.
I thought it was 1884.
It was.
Well, we stopped off in 1895, then 1897 for a bit.
and now we've reached 1903.
Keep up, Henny.
Oh, where am I?
Still in the Harbour Arts Theatre in Irvine. Still telling our story.
Well, I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
And this is who says she's in charge.
Where's my mum?
Hey, it's okay.
No, I want my mum.
Right, calm down. Deep breaths.
Mum?
Your head between your knees.
Annie, irritated by all this, grips Mary.
Mary McAdam.
Mummy!
It's 1903. Your ma's dead. Mary, you're dead. We're all dead.
Mary pulls away, a beat. Then, boom. Mary looks around herself.
Is this heaven?
Man, I hope it's not, because I definitely don't want to be stuck with you for eternity. But maybe we could make our own wee bit of heaven right here.
The factory whistle sounds.
Come on, pal.
Annie grabs HW jam and exits, smooching. Rachel and Maggie soothe Mary.
Do you not remember, Mary?
It was a Thursday morning,
Lovely morning too. A wee bit before 9 o'clock.
and Mr. McRoberts had just been in.
Remember?
Mary remembers and reacts proudly.
He said he'd looked in my cartridge box. He said I was one of his best girls. He says if I work any faster, he'll need to lower my piece rate because I'm going to put the factory out of business.
Your eye fast, Mary.
Fast, but diligent.
Very diligent.
He said I was one of his best girls.
You were.
You are.
I could be management material.
Mr. McRoberts said this.
Well, not in so many words. You're not the only one with dreams.
You'd be a dead good manager, Mary. My first day, I couldn't reach the handle.
Your wee legs were that short.
You had Mr. Lyons bring me a stool. He told me to stand on that stool. And when I stood on that stool, I could reach the handle.
Well, you've grown a bit since then. Aye. You're a good worker, Maggie.
Not like her sister, eh, Mary?
Where is that lassie?
Annie enters, adjusting her clothes and smoothing down her hair. She beams at all.
What did I miss?
Just in time for the Stevenson boom.
Boom.
Not that kind of boom.
An economic boom.
An explosion in commerce, enterprise, trade.
With the increase in population and employment.
By 1903, more people were making money.
Enough money to support a growing retail and small-scale manufacturing sector.
Stevenson is thriving. To bookmakers,
Stationers,
Sweet shops,
Butchers,
tobacconists,
newsagents,
flower shops,
milliners,
tailors,
rapers,
purveyors of fine china.
and fancy goods.
Annie adopts a posh voice and swans about, bride-like.
When I marry Lord Eglinton's big lad, my wedding dress will be made by Miss Letitia Davidson of Caledonia Road. Obviously, I could order my trousseau from Paris, but I like to support the small business woman.
think
global.
Shop
Local.
Oh, will it be a big do-over, Annie?
Massive! I'm marrying Lord Eglinton's big lad, remember? And you'll all be my bridesmaids, and there'll be eating and drinking and dancing and more eating and drinking into the wee small hours after Archie and I leave for our honeymoon on the French Riviera in his new automobile from Mr. Abbotson's automobile factory in Glasgow.
Honk, honk.
Honk, honk.
What about Alfie?
I'll send him an invitation.
You can't. He's dead.
Alfred Nobel dies on December the 10th, 1891, in San Remo, Italy. He's only 63.
But his name lives on, because even though his explosives continue to be used in mining and construction,
it's in the manufacture of armaments that he really makes his money.
Armaments,
munitions,
Weapons of mass destruction.
during his lifetime, Nobel witnesses the use of his inventions towards violent ends.
And he's not happy. Not happy at all. See, Alfie's a pacifist. He doesn't like wars and fighting. He's Swedish.
And how does the guy who changes the face of warfare square that circle?
He's a businessman with a conscience.
Oh, look. What's that? A flying pig.
Alfie dies a very, very rich man, and he's only going to get richer thanks to those patents.
in his will,
He sets up the Nobel Foundation to award annual prizes.
In physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, economics, peace.
Peace?
Oh, that's a conscience, all right. Guilty conscience.
And peace is going to be in very short supply throughout the coming century.
The wind blows. All listen.
There's that wind of change again.
The wind becomes the sound of many, many marching feet.
Oh, this sounds like trouble.
On the 28th of June 1914 in Sarajevo, a Bosnian Serb named Gavrilo Princip shoots and kills Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and his wife.
Princip. She always gets that wrong.
Yeah, cheeky bism. I'll give you such a slap.
Okay, you and whose army?
Fight!
Mary and Annie square up. Rachel gets between them and plays peacemaker.
There's bigger battles coming. Real wars.
Great wars.
The First World War, 1914 to 1919.
The war to end all wars.
only it doesn't.
1939 to 1945, World War II.
Men and boys enlist in their thousands.
I like a lad in uniform.
The Great British Empire needs dynamite, gelignite and cordite.
Boom!
Boom! Bang!
Bang!
Down at Ardeer, production goes into overdrive.
Cha-ching!
Wars are good for business.
With the men away fighting, women and the girls take over the jobs.
We come in our hundreds.
Thousands. From Saltcoats,
Stevenson, Kilwinning, Irvine, West Kilbride, Dreghorn.
Even Galston.
We learn the ropes from the lassies already working there.
We make friends, connections.
down at the Dynamite, the workforce will soar.
At its height to 13,000.
Mr. Nobel, was I an equal opportunities employer?
We were cheaper.
Speak for yourself.
Munitions factories practice equal pay for equal work.
Munitions factories make the factory owners even richer.
Putting money into the pockets of ordinary women and girls.
Women with yellow skin and green hair step forward. One holds a yellow baby. Song. We make life go with a bang.
You want to kill the Nazis? I'm your lass.
You want to root the Hun? Please just ask.
Because it's our ammunition that will bring to sweet fruition the great patriotic mission. I'm your lass. We make the world go bang. We make the world go bang. Here at Ardere by the sea, plenty of work for you and me.
You want to win the fight? Count on us.
You want to come home safe? It's down to us.
'Cause our nimble little hands make the ammo in the sands, mow down Hitler where he stands. Count on us. We make the world go bang. We make the world go bang.
Here
at Ardere by the sea, plenty of dosh for you and me.
Our Canary girls. 12-hour shifts working with the nitric acid gives them headaches, nausea, dizziness, anemia, liver toxicity.
So a few lassies' hair turns green. So a few Waynes are born jaundiced.
You're a hard woman, Mary Ricardo.
We have to keep spirits up. There's a war to win.
Profits to increase.
Call me.
Lackey.
Agitator.
Tool of the establishment.
We're doing war work. We're important.
Uniformed soldiers step forward from the chorus. Annie leers at them.
The factory's heavily defended to protect the works from attack. We get observation posts, barrage balloons, searchlights. We get...
Anne drapes her arm around a soldier.
A detachment from the Royal Artillery Garrison.
The sound of aerial bombardment fades up. Everyone looks up.
There's 12 of us to a hut. The fumes and the peppery smells of the cordite makes you sleepy. And it's worse on the night shift when the big black shutters are on the windows. We all hate the night shift, but you do it. One night, we hear the engines overhead, but we're not allowed to leave our post till the air raid sirens sound. This time it doesn't, because our anti-aircraft guns start firing, and only when the German bombers begin dropping their payload does the siren sound, and we run to the shelter.
All drop to the floor and cover their heads. The sound of sobbing and frightened girls throughout. They comfort and hold each other. The bombardment gradually fades.
Two very different wars fought for two very different reasons. Two very different wars with the same outcome. By the end of the first, almost 40 million are dead. By the end of the second, 85 million.
A beat to let this sink in.
Life goes on, but it's what life does, doesn't it?
1945. Production capacity at Ardere continues to increase.
We still need explosives.
For the post-war rebuilding.
The North Ayrshire pits are gone now, but coal production continues in East Ayrshire and all over Scotland, the north of England and in Wales.
Miners need dynamite.
Geologists in the emerging oil industry need dynamite.
Research has been a big part of the factory. Research and innovation.
A chemist, or maybe several, step forward. Annie snuggles up to him.
I do like a lad in a white coat.
Chemists rap.
We investigate the elements. We experiment for your betterment. We mix and stir and heat and cool. We're all about reactions, full. Correlate, formulate, innovate.
Nobel Ardea is now a part of the new Imperial Chemical Industries, ICI.
The factory modernises.
The factory grows and grows.
We're making fertiliser now too. Insecticide.
Good old nitrocellulose is vital to the manufacture of paint, cellophane, printing inks, 35mm motion picture film, and nail varnish.
Annie shows off her nails. Maggie's entranced by the chemist's words.
We're changing the world.
Extract from Maggie's song, sung by Maggie.
A world that's out there, waiting patiently to be discovered, uncovered by a girl, a most extraordinary girl, through a window.
Maggie's a light with possibilities, a beacon of potential.
I want to change the world. Can I, Arani? Can I?
Don't you be putting ideas into her head.
Better than shooting them down in flames.
Oh, come on. It's wee Maggie. Wee Maggie Brannan from Ardea Square. You know as well as I do what's in her future.
Boom!
Boom!
A beat, then.
You want to change the world, there, Maggie? You go right ahead. Could stand some change.
Lassies from round here do not change the world.
Aye, maybe not yet, they don't. But they will. You'll see.
Meanwhile,
Throughout the 1950s and 60s,
Trains and buses bring thousands to work in factory every day.
It's more like a town than a factory.
It's bustling, it's alive.
You should see us all streaming down Factory Road towards the big gates. The managers and the chemists in their cars. The rest of us on Shank's pony.
Aye, there's still that class divide.
Chill out, eh? We've got jobs, we've got money in our pockets.
we've got our own station, bank, dentist, travel agent.
We've got the rec. We've got the dancing on a Saturday night.
1960s dance sequence ending with "The wind of change blows." All gradually listen.
as we enter the 1970s, the MOD,
The ministry.
remains one of the factory's biggest customers.
There still wars. Wars need weapons.
Weapons need bullets. Bullets need propellants.
ICI Nobel's the largest employer in the area, and women are everywhere.
Society's changing. We're doing more than having wains.
Like Queens, I couldn't eat a whole one, but
We're seizing the new opportunities this changing society offers.
what's wrong with having wains?
Eddie gives Annie a disapproving look.
You saying being a ma's no important?
I'm saying maybe we all don't want to spend our lives knee-deep in nappies like our mothers did.
When I marry Lord Eglinton's big lad, I'm going to have loads of wee ones.
I think that ship sailed, Annie.
Annie is bereft.
But our wee sister Mary's going to have so many kids.
I hope she gets a ring on her finger first.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Annie prepares for another set two with Maggie. Maggie holds her back.
We're taking up the challenge and becoming doctors, lawyers, pilots, engineers, and bankers.
Ching!
Women are getting involved in politics.
Well, I've been in politics, in our unions, fighting for the rights of workers, improving conditions in the mines, the steel industry, the factories like ours, equal pay for equal work.
Rachel leads everyone in an equal pay for equal work chant.
I'm not meaning rabble-rousers.
Who are you calling a rabble-rouser?
You and your airs and graces. Just because you live in New Square, you think you're better than us, don't you? Don't you?
Don't you?
Don't you?
Don't you?
Don't you?
The chorus, Rachel and Annie round on Mary. Maggie plays peacemaker.
Let her speak.
The taunting continues. Mary's increasingly intimidated.
Let the lassie speak.
The chorus are shamed into silence. Everyone's surprised. Maggie never shouts.
On you go, Mary.
Of course, women have always played a part in everything. A big part. It usually goes unnoticed, unrecognised. We're the unsung heroines of the world. We are. There's a revolution coming. On May the 4th, 1979, Mrs. Margaret Thatcher becomes Prime Minister of Great Britain.
Remember that name.
It's a game changer.
Maggie Thatcher enters and is unmistakably herself.
Because nothing will ever
be the same
again.
A woman in number 10 Downing Street. Imagine.
The cocks may crow, but it's the hen that lays the egg.
Mrs. Thatcher provides ordinary folk with a stake in our national industries.
Gas, electric, the telephone, iron, steel, coal. She sells them all off to private ownership.
Mrs. Thatcher gives us the opportunity to purchase our council houses.
Houses we all paid to build through our taxes and the rates.
Mrs. Thatcher makes the rates fairer by introducing
the poll tax,
the community charge, under which every working adult pays the same flat rate. It's much more equitable.
Got to do with Alfie or Annie? What's this got to do with us?
Not a Scooby, Maggie, but keep listening, eh?
There's 6 in their house, living in 2 rooms. So how is it fair for them to pay 6 times more than Lord Eglinton, sitting in his own, in his big house with dozens of rooms?
Lord Eglinton's not got a big house anymore.
How come?
Upkeep, death duties, a series of ill-advised investments, not to mention an overly extravagant lifestyle.
So me and Lord Eglinton's big lad?
Well, why, you still got me.
Annie is cheered by this and smooches each man in turn.
Mrs. Thatcher's crowning achievement will be the smashing of the unions.
And the ultimate closure of all British coal pits.
Oh, come on. It was a dirty job and a dangerous job. Remember your dad.
Coal goes. Iron and steel aren't far behind.
We save money if we import our coal from South Africa and Poland.
Loads of money.
Hold on.
We're now part of a flexible labour market. We'll move with the times. We'll get on our bikes and find other jobs. In the retail sector, safer jobs.
Hold on.
Working in call centres and sports shops on 0-hour contracts with lower wages and no rights because she smashes the unions and the likes of you help her to do it, Mary McAdam.
Hold on.
Is that no her line?
Mrs. Thatcher closes the pits.
She closes the pits.
But we make the dynamite and the gelignite and the debts and the safety fuses that's used in the pits.
There's still the Ministry of Defence.
Guess what? Your great British Army decides it's cheaper to buy munitions overseas. So with 2 of ICI Nobel's biggest customers gone, throughout the 1980s and 1990s, production at Ardere is scaled back.
The factory downsizes.
The factory gets smaller.
And smaller.
And smaller.
What about fertilisers? The nail varnish? Folk are always going to need nail varnish, aren't they?
We no longer manufacture. We stopped making stuff.
Thousands lose their jobs. Good jobs. Skilled jobs. Well-paid jobs.
Most of it's natural wastage, voluntary redundancy, early retirement. It happens gradually over a period of time. No one really notices.
Shops close, cinemas close. Salcoats, Stevenson, Kilwinning, Irvine, Ardrossan.
Now we've got Shellmex and Metallic. We're okay.
For now. West Kilbride.
We've got Hunterston and Clydeport. We're okay.
For now. Dreghorn, even Galston, the whole area feels the loss.
I give you the right to buy whatever you want. You. I make credit widely available. I get money moving through the economy into your pocket. Your pocket.
Money to buy goods.
Goods.
Stuff. Endless stuff.
I give you choice. I put power into your hands.
A new car every year, new kitchen, new clothes. I'm a consumer, and the consumer is king and queen. I matter. I'm important.
What about us?
This is all about me.
Maggie notices Rachel's fallen silence and approaches, concerned.
And where do I get all the money to buy all this stuff? I don't see the banks lending the likes of me money. And I'm barred from the Provy.
Who needs money?
I've not got a bank account, never mind a credit card.
I deregulate the financial sector. You can all have credit cards.
We'll use our purchasing power to keep the economy growing.
Thatcher distributes credit cards. Mary and Annie accept theirs eagerly, examine them with glee. Rachel refuses hers. Maggie doesn't even register the offer. Song, spend, spend, spend. Thatcher, Mary and Annie.
Spend, spend. Old Amex is our friend.
When life is hard, just grab that card and spend.
Spend. The fun just never ends. If you're feeling low, help the country grow and spend. You want to be as good as me?
Kardashians, we all can be.
Make a purchase, buy some shoes.
You've all to gain and not to lose. Spend. Come on, let's start a trend. You are what you buy, so give it a try and spend.
Thatcher links arms with Mary and Annie.
Ladies, we're going shopping.
Thatcher, Mary, Annie exit with much joy. A beat of silence, then the wind blows. All gradually turns their heads to listen. Maggie listens especially intently.
The sound of the marram grass on a breezy day.
Tumbleweed rolling down Dynamite Road.
There'll be other jobs. Nicer jobs. Mrs. Thatcher says so.
I liked my job.
Come on, Rachel. Don't tell me there weren't days when you thought...
Rachel and Maggie's song, gone.
Wouldn't it be great to just stay in bed, pull the duvet over your head, but you've got to earn your daily bread and you don't know what you've got till it's gone?
It's pouring rain. You feel like the dregs. The bus drives past, splashes your legs. They're out of sausage rolls and Greggs, and you don't know what you've got till it's gone. I want to be right. Turns out I'm wrong. You don't know what you've got till it's gone. A worthwhile job, somewhere to belong. You don't know what you've got till it's gone.
The work is hard and conditions are tough. The skin on your hands is red and rough. And the boss is a bitch, and you've had enough, but you don't know what you've got till it's gone.
At the end of a day, maybe late at night, on the couch with your feet up, you've earned that right. Pride, satisfaction, and a job done well. You can't put a price on that.
But you've lost sight of that. You don't know what you've got, you don't know what you've had, don't know what you've lost.
A century and a half done and dusted. The bones of buildings snarled and rusted. Working lives twisted and busted. And we don't know what we've got till it's gone. Don't know what we've lost till it's gone. We had a factory. The factory's gone.
During this, a maid over Mary and Annie enter with designer bags full of shoes and clothes, chattering together, excited and happy. Each clutch mobiles, take selfies, then unloads their purchases and show them each other. Maybe a large heap of products, shoes gradually appear, with help from the chorus. Initially happy and supportive, their original personalities slowly emerge. Thus, by the end of the song, they are both more at loggerheads.
Know what I miss the most?
The long hours, the lack of health and safety provision, the zero respect from the wider community.
The voices of hundreds of women and girls just talking and laughing at the end of their shift. I miss the lassies I worked with.
Even Mary.
Even Mary McAdam. I loved that job. I was part of something, something bigger than me, bigger than Rachel Allison from Kyleswell Street, bigger than all of us. The debts mattered, Maggie. We mattered.
Folk still talk about Alfie and his factory.
His factory, not ours. 150 years on, who cares? What was the point? Hey, Maggie, what was the point in any of it?
At least Mary and our Annie have buried the hatchet.
How many pairs of wedges can one woman wear?
Don't hold your breath.
I like shoes. Shoes help me say who I am.
Annie takes a pair of shoes, one in each hand, puppet-like, talk to each other.
I know what we say about you. What do you say about her? We say we're the shoes of a woman with feet like boats.
Mary seizes and does likewise.
Oh, I'm feckless. Feckless, feckless, feckless.
There's only so many wonders a wonder bra can perform. I'm Mary McAdam, plain as can be, no chest to speak of. Who'll marry me?
Annie chants, dancing around, waving the wonder bra, putting it on her head, etc. All laugh. Even Rachel and Maggie are amused. Mary's mortified and increasingly angry.
That explosion on Thursday, 8th of May, 1884, that was my fault.
A loud explosion, then silence.
Take that back.
Mr. McRoberts and Mr. Loynes, were I having to tell you off?
Take it back.
It says so in the newspaper.
We're in the papers.
The Ardrossan, the Saltcoats Herald, the Glasgow Herald, the Dundee Post and the Manchester Courier.
Rachel, Annie and Maggie cluster round Mary and the newspaper reading.
Yesterday morning, the works at Stevenston of the Nobel Explosives Company was the scene of a distressing and fatal occurrence. At about 20 minutes to 9 o'clock, Number 7 Cartridge Hut blew up in the sand hills a mile or so to the west of Stevenston and a short distance from the beach between Stevenston Burn and Irvine Harbour.
Annie Brannan? I've never seen my name in print before.
See? The cause of the explosion has not yet been ascertained. It is just possible that there may have been some larking around amongst the girls, and it is probable that some irregularity or other amongst them was committed.
It says Mary Brannan here.
Mary Brannan?
Me and our Annie's wee sister. Mary wasn't there. She was at school.
Not a vestige of the hut remains to indicate its former presence, and parts of the body of one of the girls was found over the boundary towards the shore.
Wonder who that was.
Maggie stares off into the distance, watching. Alfred Nobel slowly makes his way out of the audience and on stage. He pauses to look around along the way. We don't know who he is. Only Maggie responds to him.
They've put an extra A in your name and all, Rachel. And all the girls were between the ages of 18 and 25.
Well, that's not right. You're 15 and wee Maggie's 14.
They've misspelt Rachel. They've got Maggie's name completely wrong. They've got her ages wrong. What else did they get wrong? Larking around? My arse. I was a good worker, Mary McAdam. You know it.
Mary does know it. She scans the newspaper diligently.
This is outrageous. Our press should be accurate at all times. Oh, don't you worry, Pet. We'll sort this out. I'll write a letter to the editor.
You'd do that for our Maggie?
Certainly. Diligence and accuracy are important in journalism.
You're the boss, Mary.
We're a team. We were a team.
Rachel alerts Mary and Annie to Maggie's staring. Together they watch Maggie follow Nobel tentatively. He finally notices her, smiles and pauses.
Ah, Miss Brannan.
Mr. Nobel, can I call you Alfie?
If I may call you Maggie,
You may.
it is a pleasure to meet you, Maggie.
Likewise, Alfie.
Maggie curtsies, Alfie bows.
What are you doing way down here?
Oh, just looking around. Not much left, just dune grass and sand.
And rabbits. Look.
And the rabbits.
Your factory's mostly gone now, aye?
In its day, it was quite something.
Made you a lot of money. Made you famous.
What are you doing way down here?
We're telling your story.
That is kind of you.
You're a household name. You put our dear on the map. You're important.
I couldn't have done it without you, Maggie. You and thousands like you.
An owl hoots. Startled, Nobel listens. Maggie smiles.
Long-eared owls are really shy. You hardly ever see them. But you can hear their call if you listen hard. There's all sorts of wildlife down here now. Loads of insects, including the nationally scarce time pug moth.
I did not know that.
Affected by this interaction, Mary tries to stop herself crying. Annie notices.
Mary.
I'd known. I wish I'd known that Thursday would be my last day. Our last day. Together. I would have smiled more.
Mary weeps. Annie and Rachel console her.
I would have sung more.
Field mice, voles, deer, foxes. I've seen weasels in the early summer, bounding through the long grass with their babies.
Mind that time you were in the privy and a weasel bit your behind, Mary?
Did the weasel survive?
That did not happen.
I saw the marks.
Probably a stray bit of gross. It's quite dark in yon privy.
Oh, the gorse in early May. So yellow it hurts your eyes. All the bees buzzing round the flowers. When the gorse comes out, you know spring's just around the corner.
Everyone's caught up in Mary's words of hope.
Another rabbit!
Maggie points. Nobel follows her finger. They watch the rabbit together, smiling. After a moment, Nobel looks at Maggie. Maggie continues to watch the rabbit.
My cartridge girls were the backbone of Nobel.
Who remembers us now but...
I remember you. They remember you, don't you?
Yep.
Don't you?
The audience respond in the affirmative. Everyone on their feet.
See what happens when you mix stuff together and come up with something new? Something special?
Something unique.
Something powerful.
Song, finale.
We've told our story and we've told it well.
Our tale's not only about Alfie Nobel.
It's the story of you. You, me, and we.
So open your eyes. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Let the truth set you free.
Together we've made this. Together we're strong.
Remember our names. Remember our song.
Together we have power. We're part of a team.
Working together, dreaming our dream.
Rachel?
Mary.
Annie.
Wee Maggie.
The girls of Cartridge Hut number 7.
Now go dream your dreams. Boom.
The end. Thank you very much. Good. Excellent.